Yo, what is going on, guys? We're back here with another video. Today we'll be talking about who will the Detroit Pistons be drafting. So if you do enjoy this type of content, hit that subscribe button. Let me hear your opinion down below on who the Pistons will draft. And you know what? Check out my other videos if you want. Either way, let me recap you guys on who's gone on my board. With the first pick, it was Edwards. Second pick, it was Wiseman. Third pick was Ball. Fourth pick was Avita. Fifth pick was, I think it was Obi Toppin, and then the sixth pick was Onyeka Okongwu. I just know the Hawks got Okongwu and Toppin went to the Cavs. That's how we did it on my mock draft. So with the seventh pick, it comes down to the Detroit Pistons, and I think the Detroit Pistons are going to go Isaac Okoro. The way I do this is that besides the first guy who I believe is the most likely in my draft scenario, this is with no trades. Obviously, like, there could be trades, and I do mention that on each team that I do believe having a trade possibility. But besides Isaac Okoro, there'll be two other candidates that I'll talk about, prospects that could be the ones drafted at 7. So Isaac Okoro, why would he go to Detroit? Well, if he falls down the way that I assume he will, or the way I'm believing the draft potentially will go, is Isaac Okoro, I don't know why I'm saying that word, Isaac Okoro brings you the best defender in the draft. And one of the things that he's really, really good is he will come in and be a day one instant best defender on the Detroit Pistons. So you have Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin. You can worry about them doing the scoring and have Isaac Okoro literally be there and probably could make second team All NBA defensive if he really tried to. Because I talk about this all the time. Isaac Okoro has the possibility of being the next Andre Iguodala if he figures out himself offensively. Or he could be like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, better than what Michael Kidd, and we're just going to say MKG is, because MKG's development got stunted by injuries and just Steve Clifford not really letting him shoot threes. So I think Isaac Okoro, he's a guy who can play the 1 through 4 and guard like 5, such as PJ Tucker and Robert Covington in those new small ball 5s. But you know what's really interesting is the fact that Isaac Okoro he's just so athletically gifted. Okay, he has the intelligence, the intensity, the lateral quickness to really just move around, be tough, and just when he goes to the NBA, he's going to be able to be put on the other opposing team's best player whenever he's on the floor. He will always be guarding the best player. Like last night, if you watched the Lakers game, you saw Danny Green guarding up James Harden because that's probably their best perimeter defender. In that scenario, if Isaac Okoro was guarding somebody on the Rockets, he would be the one guarding James Harden. You would be putting Isaac Okoro specifically on the guys you want to be defended the hardest because he can just shut down people. I honestly believe he can shut down people. And you're thinking, why? Why is that? It's just, you gotta think, look, he is just so physically dominant for his position and knows how to use his size, knows how to put himself in the position and have the good basketball IQ to be a great defender, and that's going to secure him into a top 10 pick. Obviously, the things that you got to worry about is his 29% hitting of threes, and he only shot 67% of free throws, but that's a good thing. If he was shooting 52% like Denny Avita, which is a bigger red flag, it'd be I don't even think he could go top 10, but the fact that he's shooting close to 70% on free throws shows that he just needs to go to the gym. He just needs to 29%. He could easily improve that in a year, easily. That's just it just comes down to learning how to take high percentage shots, what are the right looks, figuring out your form. Obviously, being in the NBA will you'll learn how to do that. Though per 40 minutes in college is 16 points. And honestly, that's when I'm thinking he's never going to be a 25-point scorer unless he does break out to be a 25-point scorer. And I honestly believe kudos to him if he can actually do that because, if he can become a double-digit scorer, that's insane. He'll be one of the best defenders and one of the best scorers in the league with 6'6", 225 pounds. That's an insane frame. That's a very similar frame to Michael Jordan. Wasn't Michael Jordan Michael Jordan might have been 205, 6'6". I think he has like 20 pounds in Jordan. Though I know Iguodala is like 220, 6'6", 6'7". So in that sense, they do have a similar frame, which, I mean, I'd be stoked about. Though, the next two. So I didn't know if Tyrese would be the guy. I don't even know if they would go Tyrese or Killian Hayes, because I think they'd want a backup point guard. So I'm really the last two guys are these two guys. So I personally think Tyrese Haliburton's I'd personally choose Tyrese Haliburton over Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes is a safe bet. Like, every team knows what they're getting with Killian Hayes, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's just he's a very high floor and a very low ceiling. So he's just a safe bet. We'll talk about him in a bit. But I've talked about Tyrese Haliburton, my favorite guy. The guy post-injury Sean Livingston with a jump shot. He's just good because he has all the skills to be a really good 3-and-D point guard. And you don't have to throw him in the fire. You have Derrick Rose for another year. Have Derrick Rose teach him all the good shit that he needs to know about the NBA. Then, once it's Tyrese's time, Tyrese can take the ball over his second season, be a starter, use everything learned. So he's just 43% three-point shooter. He stretches the floor. It's something the Pistons would love to have. He's a good free throw shooter. He's just a really offensively sound player, and he has the potential to be a really good defender due to the fact that he has a 6'7" wingspan. It's just like that's what you want, and he just has all the ability to be like a good defender. Obviously, he's not the fastest guy. He isn't the most athletic guy. So, and he's kind of skinny. He's 175 pounds at 6'5". We just looked at the guy who's 6'6", 225 pounds. It's like a 50-pound difference. So, does he have like the physicality to stay within the NBA and be able to defend players? I have no idea. Killian Hayes, look, 6'5", strong frame. His father was a Euro basketball player, so he's grown up around the game his whole life. And look, I love the kid. The kid's really interesting. He played in a lower level basketball than other prospects. But if I'm going to be honest, he reminds me of kind of a taller version of a poor man's Mike Conley. And maybe a little bit of Tony Parker in there. But I don't see him ever being an all-star. He's like a little bit of I think he could be a player similar to DJ Augustine, and his floor is DJ Augustine and his ceiling's like a poor man's Mike Conley. That's not bad. Like, that's what you want. But yeah, so if we run it back, I really do think that they're going to take Isaac Okoro. That's who I have on my list. The other two options are Killian Hayes and Tyrese Haliburton. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously tomorrow we'll be doing the next guy, and that one's gonna be interesting because now it starts to get with all these like who's gonna go, because Nico Mannion's been dropping supposedly. But yeah, that's the video, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, because I know I will. Till next, guys. Peace out.